two things then, because that temperament
wants to be around us.
Yeah, nobody wants to be around you because that temperament is taking over. All right, and you feel that you got it all going on. In actuality, you really don't. All right, Brother Josh.
They possesses dogged determination, and often to see where others fail, not because their plans are better than anyone else's,
right,
but because they push long after others who have become discouraged and quiet.
Okay, so what that means right there is that person is always going to push extra hard to succeed at doing things. But see, sometimes, we've talked about this before, about how successful businessmen try to get up into certain positions and rule with power and with an iron fist. That's what that means, is he's going to try to succeed.
Power, money, and greed.
There you go, power, money, and greed. And they get to that position, you can't tell them nothing. Right or wrong. There it is.
They look at you like you're a lowlife.
There you go. There it is. That's right. Absolutely. All right, go to B.
I gotta read this. Their motto: either lead, follow, or get out the way.
Lead, follow, or get out the way. And that is so true, Brother Josh. So true.
The coherent emotional nature is the least developed part of their temperament. They do not suffer fools gladly.
Yes.
Nor do they sympathize easily with others. Male coherents are often embarrassed or disgusted by the sight of the men crying. Of other men crying. Man, screw y'all. I don't like y'all people. They have little appreciation for the fine arts because their primary instances lie in the utilitarian values of life.
All right.
Man, screw y'all people who are coherent. Whatever you want to.
All right. That's good. Okay, let's go to the third one. Melancholy.
The melancholy temperament.
Okay.
Melancholy people are often dark, moody individuals, prone to analyzing everything to death.
Wow. Over analytical. Okay.
What do I mean analyzing everyone to death?
That means analytical. They like to
have the numbers and stuff.
Yeah, they want to see all the facts for everything. They analyze every little thing.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Nonetheless, they can be self-sacrificing.
Okay.
Gifted perfectionists with sensitive emotional natures.
That's right.
That's why many of the world's greatest artists, musicians, inventors, philosophers, and educators have been of the melancholic temperament.
Okay.
These self-described introverts come hardwired with a variety of moods dominated by their emotions.
That's correct.
Sometimes melancholics' moods will lift them to heights of ecstasy.
That's correct.
But 5 minutes later, they become gloomy and depressed.
Wow. So they have mood swings.
If this occurs, spouses need to watch out. Withdrawal melancholics can be quite
antagonistic
and hard on in marriage.
That's right. They always analyze and always pointing fingers, the blame. So there are some men can shift from one point to another point, just like that.
It's called bipolar.
Yeah, and it could be a bipolar incident. That's right. You're right. Exactly right. And that could be also due in men due to the testosterone levels or the missing of testosterone that's going on that could put you in a position of being bipolar. That's so true, Brother Josh. That's so true. But so go ahead, brother.
When they're in a good mood, melancholics are your best buddies and friends.
Yes.
Unlike sanguine men and women, however, they do not make friends easily. I think that's me. I don't really make friends easily.
A lot of men don't.
Melancholics are initially reserved when meeting people, preferring for new acquaintances to come to them. Yep, that's me.
Okay, all right.
They are perhaps the most dependable of all temperaments because their perfectionist tendencies do not permit them to let others down.
Okay, how many men you know that feel that they are perfectionists? Not many. Okay. There's some out there though. There's some out there. Okay.
The
phlegmatic.
The phlegmatic temperament. Everyone loves to be around those with phlegmatic temperaments.
Okay.
They act calm, cool, and collected. That's Tyrone. He's a problematic.
Yeah, I guess so.
And they travel through life in the slow lane. Content to take it easy.
Yes, that's true.
Life for phlegmatic people is one happy, pleasant experience after another.
Okay.
Which is why they avoid entanglements with others as much as possible.
Absolutely. That's me.
Phlegmatic types seldom get rough.
Okay.
They are the types who rarely express anger or laugh into tears are running down.
That's right. That's right.
Their temperament remains steady beneath their cool.
Recited.
What's that mean?
That means under their core.
Oh.
Under their core, they're very, very calm and collective.
Almost timid personalities.
To an extent.
Phlegmatics draw from a combination of abilities.
Okay.
The more they feel more emotion than appears on the surface and have a great capacity to appreciate the fine arts and the better things in life.
That's absolutely true.
Since Plemega enjoy people, they do not lack for friends.
Well, that could be a difference there, but it's hard for men sometimes to make friends if you have a bad past.
They are natural-born conversationalists who love to hear a good story as much as they enjoy telling one.
Okay, all right.
Known for their dry sense of humor.
I don't have much sense of humor, though.
I do. They have the ability to see the light of sight in everyday situations.
Yeah, I do. I do
Their
that.
attentive minds delight in poking fun at the temperament types.
Okay, okay. So that pretty much describes me, though. Okay.
Although they are easy to live with,
Uh-huh.
Plemiggas have a careless, low-pressure way of living.
Were you reading that, sir?
Right there.
Oh, you read the chief weakness. You skipped it. That's what I was looking at. The chief weakness.
You didn't tell me to read that.
No, go ahead.
Because we've only been reading A and B.
Yeah, no, but go ahead and read that anyway, because I think that's very important.
Screwing up my flow here, Tyrone. The chief weakness of phlegmatics, which often keeps them from fulfilling their potential, is their dearth
Of motivation,
of motivation.
meaning lack of motivation.
Oh.
Now, I don't have a lack of motivation, but there are some people out there that have a lack of motivation.
Some husbands will say this about the phlegmatic wives. She is a wonderful wife and mother, but she is one lousy housekeeper.
Wow. Wow.
A frustrated wife might say, Joe is a wonderful husband, but he can't seem to get a promotion.
Wow. Less motivated. Okay.
Although they are easy to live with, phlegmatics have a careless, low-pressure way of living that can irritate a hyperactive partner to no end.
That's true, because we always say if you always taking it easy and the other person is very active, then yes, they'll create a problem. All right.
Christians and the four temperaments.
All right, we get down to a little bit deeper now. All right, let's go.
Numerous Christians believe they can gain great insight into themselves and others by studying the personality characteristics of the four temperaments.
All right.
Authors claim to tell you why you act the way you do and
That's
how
right.
to.
All right.
Analyze your strengths and weaknesses.
That's one thing you got to start doing. Number one, analyze your strengths and weaknesses, man, so you can understand your temperaments. All right, go to the next one, Brother Josh.
Discover how God can use your gifts.
How can they do, I want you to answer that question. How can a man out there that's listening to broadcast understand how God can use his gift?
God puts us in different places for a certain reason.
Mm-hmm.
Because I might have stuff that I can attribute to somebody else that doesn't
Mm-hmm.
have that skill.
Mm-hmm.
That God is using me to help that person gain that skill.
Mm-hmm. But they also got to know who they are in God and know
See,
who they
yeah.
are themselves, right?
Like I said before, it all goes back to who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Because how are you going to be somebody
Mm-hmm.
and you don't know who you are?
Mm-hmm. That's
See,
true.
a lot of men, we're out here in this world lost.
Sure.
Because we don't understand how it is.
I agree.
Because God put men on this earth for a reason.
That's right. Lead
Protect and
and
provide.
provide. There you go.
And see, we as men, we fall short of that.
We do. Very much so. Very much so. Absolutely. All right, what's the next one, Brother John?
Improve your relationships with others.
Relationships are very, very important. If you don't know who you are, you're not going to be able to relate with anybody else. So your relationships are going to suffer. All right, that's going to suffer. So that's why if you don't understand the temperament and who you are in God, and you don't have a relationship with yourself first, don't we read that in our creed each week before we come on? You got to have a relationship with yourself.
A relationship with God, a relationship with yourself, and a relationship with another man.
There you go. There it is. Relationships are very, very important, Brother Josh. What's that?
Get ahead in your career.
And the only way you're gonna get ahead in your career, by doing it, being consistent, being motivated. All right.
What are the four temperaments?
All right, we're gonna get down into a little bit. We already talked about them. Let's go down and let's go back briefly, Brother Josh.
Sanguine.
Okay, and what are those?
Cheerful, friendly, talkative, lively, restlessness, self-centered, undependable.
Oh, one at the end, undependable. That's the negative part of the temperament. All right.
Coherent.
Cleric.
Optimistic, active, confident, strong-willed, quick to anger. And the other downside is they're aggressive and inconsiderate.
Yes, there you go.
Melancholic, sensitive, analytical, perfectionist, unsociable. But the downside is they're moody and rigid.
That's right. There you go, Brother Josh. That's it.
Phlegmatic, calm, dependable, efficient, easygoing, passive. But on the other negative end, they're stubborn and lazy.
There you go. There you go, Brother Josh. All right.
What are the four temperaments? Let me read that one.
Yeah, we can.
Are you gonna skip?
We can go past that because we just went through that. Let's go ahead down to
personality temperament test.
where it says, no, let's go down where it says an excuse for greater understanding. And let's do these three and then we go into the temperament test.
So this one?
Greater understanding, yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
Knowing the temperament traits and categories can actually hinder knowing and understanding ourselves and others.
There you go.
For instance, one characteristic may be noticed by a person in a particular situation.
Mm-hmm.
Then, as quick as a flash, that person is popped into a category and assigned the other characteristics associated with that temperament.
Yes.
Whether or not the other characteristics specifically apply,
Yes.
as soon as a person is placed into a temperament category, there is a tendency to view that person accordingly.
Ah, okay. So, go ahead, Brother Josh.
Then the temperament user undermines the
complex.
variety of individual differences expressed within the vast possibility of social interactions
Right.
and circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
People are not exactly the same in different circumstances.
Yes.
One who may appear reserved and quiet in some circumstances may be highly expressive and outgoing in others.
All right. So what that's basically saying, man, is that sometimes you're not going to always be in that same temperament that you think you are. Because see, sometimes what people do, they'll put you in a box, or we'll put ourselves in a box and say, well, this is who I am and that's it. But what's going to happen is your situation, your circumstance is going to change. So that's why we gave you the negatives and the positive of each temperament so you can understand. Once you understand who you are, now I'm basically 80% phlegmatic, all right? 80% I'm a phlegmatic, but I also touch someone sanguineous also. You see, but you got to understand those temperaments so when you're dealing with people, you're dealing with your testosterone, you'll be able to, when you learn how to express yourself, Brother Josh, and express yourself to others, those things, if you understand who you are as a person and who God created you are, you'll be able to relate to your temperament and deal with your position as a man and how testosterone acts within your situation, and you'll be able to communicate. Very simple. Go ahead, bro. Excuses for behavior. And we make a lot of excuses for that.
Yep. Whenever sinful behaviors relabeled weaknesses,
Mm-hmm.
there is a dwindling sense of responsibility.
That's right.
And a gnawing sense of being trapped
Yes.
and helplessness.
Yes.
I think you ain't going no further.
What does that mean, Brother Josh?
I'm baffled by it myself. But
What does that mean? It just means...
I think
Okay.
we as men, like, every behavior we do, we come up with an excuse on why
That's
we
right.
did it.
To cover it up. To cover up our weaknesses. That's what it
You
is.
see, like, maybe we do something because we're hurt.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
we don't want that other person to know that
We don't
we're
want the
hurting.
other person to know that we're hurting. Exactly right. Exactly
So
right.
our behavior constitutes something.
Yep.
Oh, I was depressed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Why were you depressed? It goes to the underlying emotion
Mhm.
on why we did it.
Yes.
But see, we as men, we don't think about that until after it's done.
After it's done, brother. Absolutely right. Absolutely, Brother Josh. An appeal to the flesh and pride, sir.
While some may be tempted to use the temperament type to excuse behavior,
Mm-hmm.
others may be attracted to positive qualities associated with their particular type.
Mm-hmm.
Every category has positive characteristics that a person may apply to himself.
That's right.
It is easy for many people to fit themselves into several categories through lists of positive characteristics.
Absolutely.
It is when negative characteristics come along that people tend to shy away from certain categories and limit themselves to mainly one category.
That's right. So, stop right there. We ain't got to go no further. So what that means is you may associate yourself with one of these temperaments, but see, when the negative things come out, you don't want to be associated with that because you don't want to want somebody to know that you're weak in those areas. It's all right to be weak, men. It's all right not to know. It's all right to say, I'm weak in this area. Yeah, this may be me, but also I'm part of this too. I'm trying to work on these things. So that makes yourself even stronger in that person's sight because you're willing to admit where you fall short at. When you recognize that you are falling short, man, that's when somebody can help you to make yourself better. See, we have to acknowledge our wrongs. It's like Brother Josh was talking about behaviors and excuses. We got to realize that we have to stop making excuses for our behavior. Be a man, stand up to it, correct the action, and move forward. All right? Until that point,
You gotta own up to your behavior.
You got to own up to your behavior. So that's
Whatever
why.
you did, you gotta face the consequences.
Absolutely. That's why I wanted to talk about temperament and testosterone, because we as men, we try to cover up all the things we do because of a certain situation. No, it's a reason for it. You're doing it because you don't even understand who you are as a person and why you act the way you act. That's why temperament is so powerful, and testosterone is even really at the top of everything, because when you understand that, because you are moved by what you see and your sex organ is on the outside, then you'll start understanding why you act the way you act. All right, brother. Man, that's huge. Let's go down to the personality test. Let's go through a few of these. We ain't got to go through a lot of, but and what the temperament test is, it touches on both sides of each one. All right, let's go through a few of these, brother Josh. You choose out what you want to look at, and then we'll touch on what you think that touches you the most, and we're gonna do both sides. I'm gonna do the sanguine and the plummetic, because I touch on both of those. Really. Let me read that, and let me read mine. Then you choose which one you want to choose.
All right, which one?
Okay, the easiest person is the same plague.
I was just about to read on wrong.
The overpowering and obnoxious tendencies of a sanguine are offset by the gracious, easygoing plummetic. That's me. Plummetic are extremely happy people who are carefree spirit and good humor make them lighthearted entertainers sought after by others, helping people in their regular business along with sales of various kinds. If you're in the business world, all right, they are the least extroverted of any of the sanguines and are often regulated by their environment and circumstances rather than being self-motivated. But that's part of me, okay? That's why I said it touches on both sides. A sane flick are naturally pro-family and preserve the love of their children and everyone else for that matter. They would not purposely hurt anyone, and that's true. That's me. The same flick, greatest weakness are the lack of motivation and discipline. Now, that's one thing about me. I have plenty of motivation and I have plenty of discipline in a lot of areas, but in some plague matters, it could be a weakness there. That's not my weakness. My weakness, I think, is sometimes I'm too soft and I don't address certain issues because I don't like to be confronted with. I don't want to confront somebody else or get into an argument with some people because I don't think that helps the situation. Nope. Sometimes you have to learn how to step back and diffuse the situation to make it better. So that's why I think my weakness may be in.
You don't want to add fuel to the fire.
You don't want to add fuel to the fire. That's right. I'm going to read someone, then I'll let you pick one or two, brother. He would rather socialize than work. Now, that's not true. I love to work. He tends to take life too casually. Not really. An excessive remark about one. He is the nicest guy ever fired. He rarely gets upset, that's me, over anything and tends to find the bright side of everything. That's true. That's me. He usually has an endless repertoire of jokes. No, I'm not really that kind of person. Delights in making others laugh, often when occasion calls for seriousness. I'm very serious. Now, I'm very serious when it comes to certain things. That's right. When Jesus Christ became the chief object of his love, he is transformed into a more resolute, purposeful, and productive person. Now, it gives some Bible stuff here, which is very good. The first century evangelist Apollos is about as close as we can come to a New Testament illustration of a same plague. A skilled orator who succeeded Paul and other who had founded the church. He did the work of the stirring the churches with his spirit-filled preaching and teaching. That's me. Loved by all, followed by devotedly by some, this pleasant and dedicated man apparently traveled a great deal, but did not find new works. And I think that's part of me.
All right, the color saying.
Oh, the cleric and the sanguine together. Okay, go ahead, brother.
I think this is me.
Okay, all right.
The second strong extrovert among the blends of temperament would be the reverse of the first, color saying. This man's life is given completely to activity.
Okay.
Which is me, because I gotta have activity in my life.
Okay.
If I don't have activity in my life, I don't know what I'm doing.
Okay, alright, that's good.
Most of his efforts are productive and purposeful, but
right.
Watch his reaction. And watch my reaction.
I mean, watch his recreation. That's your activity.
Watch his recreation.
Or recreation. Either way, how you want to say it.
It is so activity prone that it borders being violent.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
He is a natural promoter and salesman.
Okay.
Salesman.
Okay. All right.
With enough charisma to get along well with others. I do that.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Certainly the best motivator of people and one who thrives on a challenge. Oh, yeah, I love a challenge.
Okay, all right.
He is almost fearless. I have a lot of fear.
Okay,
I'm not fearless.
all right, okay.
And exhibits balanced energy, which I do. I looked up all the fire.
Okay, all right, good.
My mother used to tell me take a chill pill.
Okay, all right. Got a lot of energy, huh? Like Katie. Katie got a lot of
She's
energy.
like, quit bouncing off the walls. Cause
That's like Katie.
I can be everywhere.
Yeah.
I'll be here one minute, I'm way over there
Okay,
next.
okay, all right, okay.
Yeah, Katie